Now, I am a binger. I like series, I like chapters, I like continuity. I like to sit down and see where my characters are at after a couple of years. I like to rewatch series, and so why am I talking about film? Hello everybody and welcome back to another episode of TV Time with Maggie. I'm Maggie, and as some of you guys may know, I talk all things Latinidad, representation, and women in TV and film. So if any of those things sound interesting to you, consider subscribing, hitting that notification button, hitting that like button, sharing this video, and following me on social media. So this week, instead of recommending a show to watch, I am recommending a film. I'm not big on streaming films, but Netflix has some pretty good ones that I would like for you guys to watch. If you're looking for a sci-fi thriller, something with a little dystopian hint to it, if you're into that kind of thing, I highly recommend What Happened to Monday. Now, I know this film has a lot of mixed reviews ever since it came out in 2017, but Noomi Rapace and Glenn Close do a fantastic job in this film. Now, this is a dystopian film, so we're in a future, there's overpopulation, people can only have one child, but not everybody follows that rule. And so there's a set of 7 identical twins that basically take each other's place every single day of the week. So even though they all go out into the world and all pretend to be the same person, they're not all the same person. So that's why they're called Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. Now, when one of them goes missing, Monday, they have to go out and risk being exposed and being detained and being murdered, basically, because they're not allowed to exist. So if you like that kind of thing, if you like a sci-fi thriller, if you're like me, you like kind of like Orphan Black kind of vibes, I love that show. If you like that, then you will love What Happened to Monday. For something a little bit more subdued and more of a quiet film, but with a great message and a great think piece, I would recommend Tullulah. Tullulah is a film with Elliot Page and also Jennifer Janing, who basically take care of this child who has been taken away from their mom because she is unfit to be a mother. And so the whole film questions motherhood, what it means to be an unfit mother, and overall what it means to be a parent and a caretaker. For something a little bit more lighthearted in the romance department, a little tween, a little tug of your heart, but still a little funny, I recommend The Half of It. Alice Wu does a fantastic job of basically writing a modern love story. I did a video on this film and I also wrote a piece about it on my blog, so I absolutely love it. And I love it because even though it tells a tale that we've seen before, it does it in a very cool and refreshing way. It's one of those films where one character breaks out of their shell and therefore all the other ones kind of follow suit. And it's really interesting to see these sets of characters that basically have their whole future written out for them get out of their comfort zone and really question not only what they're about to do with their life, but what their parents have taught them and what society expects of them. If you want something a little bit more mature than All the Boys I Loved Before, I highly recommend this film. Now, if you want something a little bit more on the action side and a little superhero-ish, I highly recommend The Old Guard. Now, I was put onto this film. It's not something that I would go out and watch, but I was put on by Geekettes Chat, and I'm going to link down below. There's really great conversation that we had about it. So after you check out the film, go and watch this conversation. Directed by Gina Prince by the Wood and starring Charlize Theron and Nikki Lane, we have this really great cast of characters that are unlikely heroes and unlikely to join except for this one big secret that they have in common. The adaptation from the comic does a really great job of infusing the story with enough of the mythology that you would get sucked into it, but not so much because it is very heavy and very complicated at times, and I feel like the film does a really great job of hinting at it but not overwhelming the viewer. And I heard there's going to be a second part to it, so I'm very excited about it. Overall, really great performances, and just watching women kick butts is always a favorite of mine. Speaking of badass women and kicking butt, I love Moxie. It premiered earlier this year on Netflix, and it's directed by Amy Poehler, who's one of my favorite actresses. I love her character on Parks and Rec. I really resonate with her. Leslie is one of my favorite television characters, and I even celebrate Valentine's Day ever since I watched it on that show. We have this new character of Lucy coming into school. She's played by Alicia Pascual Peña. Really stand up for what she believes in, and also against the continuous behavior of this jock towards not only the school but just to women in general. This leads someone like Vivian, who is mostly of a bystander, one of those people that's like, oh, you know what, just ignore him. You know, why don't you just follow whatever it is that you need to follow, and we'll just get out of school anyways. Just leave it the way that it is. Really have her take action and really embrace what it means to not just stand up for oneself, but for a cause that someone believes in. We also have this contrast between Vivian's mom, who was more of like a radical activist and feminist, and then we have someone like the principal of the school, who basically grew up in an era, in a time where behavior like the one of the jock was acceptable, butt heads and kind of see the situation in a completely different way. I think different points of view are definitely represented, and very well represented and valid in the film. I also like Vivian's boyfriend and how it's so modern and cool and kind of sexy for a guy to very much not just be a feminist but just declare it and be an actual ally. But the film goes into a little bit more of what it means to be an ally, what it means to be a man in a feminist organization or a feminist group, and how it's more about the well-being of everybody. It's not just, hey, we are girls, we're here, heroes roar, but how the actions of this one person affects everyone in the school. I love this really cute scene between the two main characters when they dance bachata. It really goes into the fact that they put in a little bit of the actress's actual heritage and culture into the character and then into the film, and I really like that touch. So there you go, there's a little bit of something for everybody. I know that I missed a lot, especially like animated films as well. So please, in the comment down below, let me know what's your favorite movie on Netflix that's streaming, that was originally on Netflix, and what are some of the ones that I missed, and what are the ones that I should be watching this weekend. That's it for now, but thank you guys for watching, and don't forget to like, subscribe, hit that notification button, share this video, and follow me on social media, and stay tuned for more content.